Paul here, the AI idiot. I run a small business using different AI tools for over a year now. And I've come to find out what works and what doesn't work, and I'd like to share that with you. There's three main tools that I use on a daily basis. But for the most part, if you're starting off with AI, there are basically three tools that I would point you in a direction. If you're a small business owner, you're just trying to get a little bit of help getting things done. Maybe you need help with getting emails out. Maybe you need help with some automations, some tasks that you do every day. Maybe you're trying to get more information. Maybe you're trying to extract information from documents. There are three main tools that I would suggest that are worth your money to pay for. All sitting here, we hear all these AI tools, and it's tough to figure out what's helpful, what's not helpful. I'm here to tell you what I think can work for you from what I've seen and what I've been using. So without further ado, my first pick for what I would pay for if I were if I were a small business owner, I'm trying to get into AI, Abacus, ChatLLM Teams. This is what I would pay for. You have projects, chats, deep agents available to you. Right here in the chat section, you have auto chat agent you can select from. The most beautiful part, the most amazing part of ChatLLM Teams is that you have access to every major model from ChatGPT 5.5. You have access to Claude Sonnet, Claude Opus 4.8, the latest cutting edge from Kimi K27, Haiku, Gemini, Flash, DeepSeek. You have access to all of these models whenever you want. If you're not sure what to use, you can select Root LLM, and then you put in your prompt of what you're looking for, and it will pick the best model for what you're trying to do. Now, you have to keep in mind, so for starters, cost $10 a month. $10 a month is all you need to get into using this product. That is a very small investment from a small business, and this packs a ton of punch. It also offers a $20 plan. It's going to get you a little bit more access. I should say not necessarily access, but a little bit more runtime. So one of the tricky things with ChatLLM is you're paying per usage, and each one of these models has a different usage rate. So it's important to know that, because you will find at times that you will go through credits faster than others. Particularly if you're using Banana to do image generation, you're going to burn some credits faster. When you're using the deep agent, you're going to burn credits pretty fast. But you're also only going to use that when you're doing a big task. Now, I've used it to build some websites, some tools, but this is not something that you're probably going to want to get into right away. This is a little bit more advanced. I would not recommend this for right now. You're going to spend your time in chat. You're going to use ChatGPT for image generation. You've got built-in things that it can do for you. So feel free to go through some of the things, sheets, slides, different things that's pre-built that you can go in, and they've already have templates made up for you. It's very, you can scroll through what it's going to look like. They also have options on here for Hermes and OpenClaw. Ooh, supercomputer. Supercomputer. What is that? I haven't seen that yet. Wow. Well, I'm going to have to look into to see what that's all about. Interesting. So I wouldn't worry about Hermes or OpenClaw. That's too advanced. Yes, you have access to agents and more. It'll get you some more automation and stuff. But I've messed with both of them on here. It burns a lot of credits. The setup is still a little technical. I wouldn't worry about that right now. There's other things you can do that we'll get to that will help you with automations if you're interested, if you need something like that. But for now, you can build websites, you can build dashboards from here. If you need to get into that, I wouldn't, but you can still connect your Gmail, your entire Google account, Drive, Calendar. You can connect to ChatLLM Teams, and you can do a lot of work between the two. Keep in mind, burns credits. So they do allow you to go over your $20 a month plan, but once you do that, it's going to be pay as you go. Now, I think I started saying this a second ago. It is important to understand that when it comes to your model selection, these all use credits at a different rate. I can tell you right now, DeepSeek V4 Pro is practically free to use. and it's a very powerful model. Feel free to use it. It's going to save, you can get a lot of usage. You could use this thing all day long, almost all month, and probably not use up a $20 plan, a month plan, using DeepSeek for V4 Pro. There is information here somewhere. Get into the help documents and it will explain to you what the difference is, cost between some of them. Some of them are actually free. I think like one of the Kimmies is free to use. Kimmy 2.5 is free. I should say not free. You're paying $10 or $20 a month. It's essentially included in the plan, so it will not go count towards your usage credits. So feel free to use those. If you don't have anything super complex or just chatting, just having a simple chat, use that. All right, that might do it for ChatLLM Teams. Let me just check my notes here. Even with ChatLLM Teams, I'm going to talk about ChatGPT in a second. You do have image generation, so you have video generation here. A lot of tools that you can use for marketing and different things built into this. You just may find yourself in that pay-as-you-go scenario as it gets further down the line, the more you use it. But extremely powerful tool. ChatLLM Teams. Go check it out. Abacus AI. This is not paid. I'm just telling you what works. And I've used it a lot. I rebuilt my website with it. They have hosting capabilities here. So it's all part of your plan. So there's a lot of built-in power in ChatLLM Teams. All right, next up, we've got ChatGPT. Oh boy, ChatGPT. So real quick, just to start off, cost. You can get into ChatGPT, I believe, for about $8 or $10 a month. Extremely reasonable. And I'm going to tell you right now, just based off of image generation capabilities, put my elbow on my keyboard. Just for the image generation capabilities and marketing, for marketing purposes, I 100% would recommend always maintaining a ChatGPT subscription for $8 a month. You waste money. You spend more than that on coffee a day probably. So you gotta ChatGPT, and then now on top of it, you have agents. You have agents built in, and the biggest thing that makes this important is that these agents here come with you everywhere you go. You're going to find this on the app on your phone. You're going to find them, obviously, using the web browser interface. Everywhere you go, wherever you log in, your iPad, your iPhone, Samsung, whatever you got, Galaxy, whatever. Wherever you log in, you could be anywhere around the world, and your agents are going to be with you. And the cool thing is so agents are great. So, for instance, here I have a craft beer compliance digest. So, once a week, I have this scheduled to run, and it's going to go out. It's going to scan the state and federal websites that regulate craft beer, and it's going to pull anything it finds that I might need to know about, that might be new news that I need to know. It's doing that. And the reason why it's important that this is available on the web, like I said, anywhere I go, I can pull this up and I can see the results. I can have this emailed to me, this report. In fact, I think I have this emailed to me now. I can send it to my Slack channel so that my team can see it. There's so much you can do with creating an agent and scheduling tasks. And I don't even want to use the agent because it's going to confuse people. We're trying to we're trying to do this based off of you're just getting the AI. Forget the word agent. Forget that I said agent. Just think scheduled task or any kind of task. Doesn't have to be a scheduled, routine kind of thing. Any task that you want to get done that involves going out and grabbing things, and you don't want to sit here and physically waste your time sifting through websites trying to find. Make the AI do it for you. That's what it's here for. It's going to save you so much time, and it's going to be more thorough. I'm not diagnosed ADHD or anything, but I do not have the attention span to sit here for more than 10 minutes and sift through websites looking for information. But I can ask AI to do a deep search, and it's going to pull in a significant amount of information. It might come back with a couple pages worth of very detailed information for you, and that's extremely useful. And you can set this up. I got this little tap room briefing thing that's done daily. I got a little social media monitor. Now, granted, monitoring social media isn't the best because you can't really get into Facebook and some other things, but Reddit and different things you can have are easily web scrapable. So, and your ChatGPT called an agent here, but you can set up a task for it to go out there and search for information and give you a report based on what it finds. And you can just sit back and relax. You can schedule it for 6 in the morning. So when you wake up and have your coffee, 6:30, you have this beautiful report here that you can review, events going on around you, whatever, and it's all catered and curated to what your specs, what you tell it to do for you. Extremely, extremely huge, important. And it's not just about events and different things, it's every little thing that you want information on can be done through a scheduled task. But that's just there's so much more it can do. If you needed to summarize something or if you needed to prep emails for you, all of that capability is baked in here. It might be a little bit difficult to find it, but I do think that ChatGPT, when it comes to usability and intuitiveness, is probably one of the more intuitive and easier to get into platforms and user interfaces. Abacus, it's all there. It can kind of get a little confusing. ChatGPT is much more along the lines of very intuitive, almost like an Apple software kind of thing where it just seems natural. Everything is laid out nicely, everything's right in front of you. It's all on one page. And you'll understand what I mean by this when I get to my favorite of all time currently platform to use, which is Claude. But it's easy. Everything's here. Like I showed the other day, we can make an event poster from a picture. It's very simple. Marketing is probably one of the main things that I use ChatGPT for, marketing materials. That's what I would do. For $8 a month. Now, granted, I'm using the business plan. They're going to get you on this one. So the business plan has some perks. I think you get a lot of chat availability. It could be unlimited, I believe, with the business plan for chat only. Image generation, you have so much. I have yet to hit a limit on image generation. So I don't know if that's included too or not in the business plan, but they charge you for 2 seats. So your $25 a month quickly goes to $50 a month. But you get a lot of integrations, you get a lot of things you can do. They have custom GP that if you're trying to, that you can do. Again, you have project workspace where you can create a project and you're going to projects, just think of a task or one thing that you're working on. You're going to want to put that you want to keep all the information organized. So any conversations that you're having with ChatGPT about a specific thing that you want to always keep all of that kind of context together, start a project folder, put it in there. And this is going to segue into Claude, and which I believe is just a more expanded version of this. Now, ChatGPT also has something called Codex, very similar to Claude Code. It is a separate user interface. There's a desktop version. It's going to help you work on documents on your desktop, which is great. But if you're on a business plan, which is $50 a month, you do not get Codex usage with it. You have to pay extra. I did not read that fine print when I signed up, and I was extremely frustrated when I realized that I was pay as you go on Codex. Not happy. I do like Codex, but I'm not paying for it because then I'm going to be pushing $80 a month to do things that I can otherwise do on Claude for $20 a month. So keep that in mind. So we are going to switch over to Claude real quick. So here we are in Claude. And right now I have my co-work section up. I'm just going to flip over to chat, set this to new chat. So good morning, Paul. Oh, it's still morning. Great. Look at that. So Claude is hands down my favorite AI tool to use. And the reason for that is because I get chat, something called co-work, which is here. I'm going to just do a new task just so you can see what it looks like. And you get code. Forget code. Forget I even said it. We're all noobs here, and that is really advanced. And honestly, I don't even need it. I use it because I like to fool around and try new stuff. But if it wasn't for that, it really does. There's nothing that co-work can't do that you really need code for. And so basically, you start off in chat. You can use whatever you want, whatever you're trying to do, your normal chat, like ChatGPT, whatever. You do everything here. Again, they have a couple different models you can select between. They're going to change the amount of usage that you use. So $20 a month plan, You have 5-hour segments of usage, and then you have an overall weekly usage segment. So you can get a lot of work done with that $20. Let me tell you, I get a lot done. I would say if you're just having a simple chat with it, put it on Haiku. It's going to save you a ton of usage and save it when you actually need to run a report or run a task. When you run a task, 90% of the time, I am using Sonnet 4.6. I've yet to really find anything that Sonnet can't handle. I've actually built little video games with it, with Sonnet, not Opus, and it does a pretty good job. It does a pretty good job. I've used Opus a couple times. It burns credits fast. It burns credits fast, but I will tell you what I've noticed, and was able to use Fable for a split second. I noticed that they seem a little bit more efficient, not as much back and forth, and so I've actually been surprised when using Opus. I really thought it would crush tokens a little faster than it is, and I'm actually finding that I can get quite a bit of usage out of Opus. But for the most part, you don't need it. It's overkill. Use Sonnet, use Haiku, save the money. But into the things that just in chat with that you're getting for your $20. The integrations that you have with your Google Drive, Calendar, Gmail, amazing. One thing going into connectors, Canva, Gmail, Google Drive. These are just things that I have set up. QuickBooks, Slack, Zapier. Ignore it because you probably don't need it. You can have Claude in your Chrome browser. It can control my Mac. PDF tools, PDF viewer, Apple Notes. It has access to my Apple Notes. There's so many more connectors that you can get into, and you go to add connectors, browse connectors, and Microsoft 360, which in there. So it's Claude. I have Claude in my Excel spreadsheet. I have Claude in my Word documents. It is so useful because you can actually ask it to do things for you. It isn't just check my grammar, whatever. You can actually have it edit and do tasks for you in Excel spreadsheets. It could build it from you from scratch, whatever you need. Whatever, it can do it. But anyway, connectors. There are so many different connectors, so many different things, and it just grows daily. It grows daily. This list of things that you can connect. Some of these connectors get a little involved. Some are just as simple as, you have an account already, log in with your Google account, bada bing, it's set up. Some of them, like your Gmail and your Google account, takes a few more steps, but it's all about security, so it'll take a minute, but you'll get it done. And then they have other things like I have plugins. So plugins are like sets of skills that are built into Claude. So this will make more sense in a second, but there's just different things that, business perspective that Claude has, productivity, and there's just different things that are set up so that when you go to run a task, it has these things built in that it can pull from, a little knowledge base for it to how to do something to give you what you're really looking for. And one of the things where you can see that is in the strategies, revenue plan acquisitions. There's so many different pre-built-in strategies and different things that you can do with. Now, jumping over to Cowork. Again, I should have mentioned, so projects. So even in your project section, or even in your chat, you can create projects. So again, you're going to make your different organized folders around specific things that you want to work on, and keep the content. So it's really good when you get into when you start a new chat inside one of these folders. It's really looking at what's in that folder first and what you've already done, and so they can jump off and start it, or start chatting with you, or explanation, or helping you plan something based off of where you've been, where it thinks you're going. It is a true assistant, and in the way that the folder system kind of boxes in that, I have all of my company information in the Glasstown folder. So concept, jump over to Cowork. In Cowork is where you're going to actually get things done. Actual tasks, things that you want it to do. It can go out to my QuickBooks. It can run a monthly report. It can run an annual report. It can run, and you can probably going to say, oh, well, I could just go to QuickBooks and do that, right? But this went to business school, so you can read your P&L, You can look at the numbers, but do you know what it's telling you? Claude can actually go in, review your numbers, and then come back and tell you what it thinks you have problems with. It can tell you if it thinks you're spending too much money on something. It can tell you if you're leaking money somewhere. It can tell you, it can forecast for you. It's a very powerful thing. So going down here, we have scheduled tasks. So we were just in the project folders there. As you can see some of the projects that we have. I've got it managing my inventory, not just ingredients, but labels. I have it managing the complete finished product inventory. We've a dashboard to track the tanks, all of our tanks in the building, and what's in them, and what stage of the process it's in. And all that is managed and tracked right here. I know this is getting a little bit involved, but it's very simple because you're just going to tell it, you're going to create a new project and tell it what you want it to do. And you're going to pick the connectors that you might need, and it can pick it for you. And it's going to go out and actually create the project. It's going to plan it out, what you want it to do, and then it's going to do it. And then in some cases, it could be a scheduled task. It could be just something you do once. I just need it done this time, where I will trigger it whenever I want. But it's also saved here. So once you do it once, you can go back. If you didn't like the results, tell it. It'll update the prompt for you until you get the result you want, and then it saves it like that. And then you could just go back in and say, hey, run this again. Do this again for me. Write this same report for me now based off of the last 6 months of information. It's so powerful and useful, and you just have to get in and start playing with it. So tasks. You have project folders. You have things that you have created. A lot of times the things you create in HTML or whatever get saved in artifacts. You have your scheduled tasks. So, have it check my email if there's any bills that come in, just to help me. So I get so many emails. It's hard to pay attention. So if it goes and finds something every night, and I get an alert, hey, you got a bill in case I missed it, came in, something when I mentally check out for the day. It's just there to help me. I have drafting emails for customers for in the morning, so that I can basically just go review the information and shoot it off to a customer. It's my inventory, my actual finished product, what's going out the door every week. So useful for $20 a month. For $20 a month, now, if you do manage to hit your limit and go over on usage, you have the ability, and I'll go down here and we'll pull it up. So in your usage, you'll see that so far I haven't done anything today, but for the week, that's funny, it reset. I got more usage. I just saw somebody on a Facebook group say that their usage for the week dropped, and I was at like 50% today, and it still resets on Sunday. So let's build something. Let's do something, use that credit. But down here, you'll see that you have the ability to set up usage credits for overage. So you've got a budget that you can set, $40 a month, and then you can reload it after it goes down. Now, I don't use all $40 every month. Sometimes it's like $5, $10, whatever extra. But what it does is it's very helpful, because if you are in a situation, let's say you're just ripping and you're getting all kinds of things done, and you're feeling good and you're being productive, and all of a sudden you don't have the overage usage set up, it will literally cut you off wherever you were. And if there was a prompt, if there was an actual function rolling while it was doing that, it will actually stop it and forget that it was even doing anything. So by the time you get yourself set back up with some more credits, you have to start over on that session. Well, wherever it was at in that session. That's a little frustrating. So I always recommend just put $10, $20 in there, whatever. I forget the minimum, actually might be 40. But up so you have that little fail safe to keep you going. You will get notifications where you're getting close and going over. So once you get to an endpoint, you might want to stop, take a breather. Sometimes you'll notice you're within 30 minutes of it resetting anyway. So go grab some coffee, take a walk, whatever. The thing that I find with all of these AI tools. So ChatLLM Teams, fantastic. Very good for just getting your feet wet, but it's extremely powerful. So don't just think of it as a thing. You could probably, about, place, coffee shop, to a mid-sized consulting business, a law firm, your $20 with ChatLLM Teams is going to go extremely far. Now, the cool thing and why they call it Teams is that for a couple extra bucks a month, you can add other users. So your entire office can be working from the same plan. Now, it's going to incrementally go up by person, but everybody has access to all those models, the same platform. It can still connect to Gmail. It can connect to your files on your desktop. Their desktop app that I haven't messed with yet. I need to check that out because I actually really like ChatLLM, and I'm all about saving money too. So if I can, I hate to say it, but if I could ditch Claude, I would. But there's not enough value to savings, I think, with ChatLLM Teams to fully jump ship. And I feel like I'm getting a little bit more usage out of Claude for $20. I mean, you don't need ChatGPT if you have Claude and you have Abacus. And if you were just, in theory, $40 a month, you could do everything you need. Everything you need because you have the image generation with ChatGPT in ChatLLM Teams. So you can scrap ChatGPT, but it's only $8. But you can get it in for $8. I would not get a business plan. It's that kind of. I'm probably gonna ditch that one, and I'm probably just gonna keep my ChatLLM Teams and my Claude subscription, $40 a month. That's it, $40 a month, and you have the most powerful AI options that you could possibly need as a small business owner available to you. There's nothing else that you need because Abacus has almost everything. And what it doesn't have, Claude fills that gap and then gives you what the next step is of if you really want to get into developing anything from a app to to websites to dashboards, anything your mind can conceivably develop, Claude Code can do it for you. It's that powerful. So those are my top three. Those are my top three. If you had to spend money on any AI tool, those are my top three. My top two, Abacus and Claude, with the close third place goes to ChatGPT, but I think it's irrelevant if you have Abacus and Claude. And I'm sure somebody's going to say, well, Abacus can still you have access to Claude models in Abacus. Yes, 100%. But like the platform of the desktop thing, and I didn't even get into the fact that in CoWork, these project files, some of the documents that you're working on are staying on your computer. They're staying locally on your computer. You're editing them. Claude is editing them on your computer. They're not going out to the cloud. It's doing it locally on your computer. So that's huge. If you are really concerned about privacy, that to me is the bonus added feature of Claude. Now, again, as I mentioned, you've got Abacus has a desktop app now. I believe, and once I mess with it, maybe a lot of what I'm concerned and what I'm doing here in Claude, I might be able to do in Abacus. But I do think that the usage that I'm seeing for my $20 plan on a Claude, I was able to use ChatLLM Teams that much for $20. So I think your $20 is running a little thin because they're offering so much to you, and then they dump you into a pay-as-you-go. So pros and cons. But as a light user just getting into it, ChatLLM Teams is very powerful. It can get a lot done. And that's where it lands for me. ChatLLM by Abacus AI, Claude, specifically Claude CoWork in the desktop app. The only is CoWork is only on the desktop. It does not go with you. That is going to be a problem. You're going to find a problem with any desktop AI tool. It's going to stay on your desktop or on your laptop, and you don't really get to go back and forth. With Claude, everything you do in chat, you will have available on your phone and in your web interface on your laptop or wherever you go. You'll have everything you do in chat, but you will not have access to your CoWork or your Claude Code if you get into that. Things you got to consider, but that's my top 3. And I don't think you need anything else. I am currently working on trying to switch things over to local AI. That is a very frustrating task. If you are new to AI and you hear the words OpenClaw or Hermes agent, run, because you are going to waste a lot of time getting nowhere based on bad information that other people are putting out there on the internet. Save your money. Don't buy a Mac Mini. Save your money. Don't buy GI Spark or anything else. Just spend the $20 for Claude or spend the $20 for Abacus, and you're going to be happy. You're going to get more done. And one of the best things, and I hear a lot of people that lately that are anti-AI. The thing that I noticed the most is that I really thought, oh, AI is going to save me so much time. I'm out there doing all these other things that I want to do. But what I realized is that I'm more productive. I'm getting more done. I'm getting more tasks done. So like I get done that I was never able to do before because of, like particularly when it comes to marketing. What am I sit there for 2 or 3 hours to make one poster on Canva, and then it looks like crap because I'm not a graphic designer, but I have ChatGPT whip it up in 30 seconds. But what I just do, instead of wasting time on doing one poster today that might have taken me 20, 2 hours to do, and like I said, look like crap. Now I got it done in about 60 seconds. Well, I'll just do the whole month's worth of social media posts then. So now I just got a whole month's worth of done. I freed up. Now I just got done a whole month's worth of content for social media in about an hour, when it used to take me 3 hours to put one poster together. I'm just getting more done. I actually don't have more free time, just getting more done. And hey, you can be upset about that. That's the downside to AI, is getting more work done. Then that's a positive. And I've gone on way too long on this topic, and that's all I got. If you have any comments, anything you like, dislike, put it in the comments. Please like and subscribe. We're going to keep getting more and deeper dive into a lot of this for small business. I've got a ton of things that I've been doing. We're going to go into each little thing. We're going to go through how I'm inventory management with this, and it's going to get a little technical, but you have to figure out, do a little bit, but it goes a long way. So, but we'll be back with more. Please like and subscribe. Comment. If there's anything specific that you're looking for, please let me know. It's probably I need to learn to do, should incorporate in my business. So it'd be fun if you have any ideas of things that I can add. So that's it for this one. We'll see you soon. Paul, the AI idiot.